My name is Father Don Dahl. I've been at Creighton a long time. I love it here. What a great place. My vocation was influenced by my Jesuit education at Marquette High School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Of course, I did have a full grade school staffed by nuns, and that was profound also. But it was in the senior year of my senior year at Marquette High that we had a great, charismatic retreat giver who was chaplain at the dental school at Marquette University. His name was Father McAvoy, and he brought up the idea, you guys should be thinking of becoming Jesuits. And so after that retreat, I did think about becoming a Jesuit. In fact, I went and saw my counselor, Father Fahey, at Marquette High, and talked about it. Later in March, I was very fast on the track team. Another now Jesuit, Father Ed Matthew, and I were driving down to Notre Dame to participate in the indoor relays. And he said to me, Don, what are you thinking of doing? I said, I'm thinking of joining the Jesuits. He said, so am I. Well, he went ahead and signed up for the Jesuits, went through the whole process. I, in the meantime, procrastinated. And I went ahead with my application in Notre Dame. I loved chemistry, and I got accepted at Notre Dame in the chemical engineering program. In fact, I even had a dorm room in Shaughnessy Hall. The other thing I wanted to do very badly was to fly, and I signed up for Air Force ROTC, passed all of the exams to fly jets, and I really wanted to do that. In fact, that's what held me off from applying to the Jesuits. Fast forward ahead to August 14th, I'm going to Eddie Matthews' going away party to the novitiate and join the Jesuits. Somehow that night I could not sleep all night. So I called Father Fahey at 9 o'clock in the morning. He said, come on in. After 2 hours of talking, he says, you know, I think you're ready to join the Jesuits. You want to do that? I said yes. And then that week I did the interviews, and 2 weeks later I was in the Jesuit novitiate. And that's why I'm a Jesuit today, because I was knocked off my horse that night at the party, not sleeping all night, thinking about becoming a Jesuit. I love being a Jesuit. It's a great vocation. And I think I have a vocation within a vocation. And that's what I treasure most about the Jesuit and the Jesuit spirituality and the spiritual exercises. They enable you to discover what God is calling you to do with your unique talents. And when I was teaching out at the Indian Reservation, after 2 years novitiate, 2 years junior A, 3 years of philosophy, I was sent out to Rosebud, where the first week I was there, they asked me, do you want to learn photography? I said, well, that sounds like fun. And over the next 2 years, I started doing photography. At the end of those 2 years, I was very discouraged. I hadn't taken a decent picture yet. And I said, I'm going to give this up. But I went for a walk out on the prairie. And I love the South Dakota prairies, when you can smell the sage in the fall cool air. And I said, what am I going to do as a Jesuit? I'm not as brilliant as my classmates. I'll never be a theologian or a philosopher. And somehow I heard a voice deep within inside of me that said, stay with the photography. It's the first thing you really have loved doing. And so I did. And the voice said, don't worry if it takes 10 years. Well, it did take 10 years to become proficient at photography. And at that point, I did land a job at Creighton University teaching photography. And I love doing it. So I really think I have a vocation within a vocation, and that's what I treasure about being a Jesuit. We have those tools, namely in Ignatius's spiritual exercise, to discover who you are before God and how God calls you into a vocation and of service to the church, and I guess that's what I love about being a Jesuit, is that I have a vocation within a vocation.